Hey there, and welcome back to my channel, Weirdly O.C.D. I am now recording this video on our laptop. I got a new cell phone a couple months ago, and it's okay, but it doesn't hold a good amount of video worth of crap. So I am going to record on the laptop because it looks like it has a pretty good picture. You can let me know in the comments until I hopefully get a digital camera. So until then, we're going to use this and hopefully it has a pretty good picture. So in today's video, I want to kind of continue with what I did a video on last week, which is letting you know how I'm planning on simplifying my life this year in 2020. In last week's in last week's video, I kind of explained how I'm taking a step back from social media, from screen time, things like that. I mentioned that I got rid of my Weirdly OCD Facebook page, which I did. You might still be able to find it because it does stay online for 14 days, just in case I decide that I don't want to delete it. I still have access to it. And I also decided to delete my Weirdly OCD Twitter account. I just want to keep everything streamlined when it comes to my YouTube channel. So the videos on my channel, and then if I want to tell you guys anything not involving a video, it'll be posted in the community tab. So this week, I want to focus on finances. And me in particular, when it comes to finances, I kind of want to hone in on the topic of cash advance systems. Now, unfortunately, I have been a customer of cash advances in the past. And in fact, I've been the customer of 3 cash advance systems all at one time. Oh, I'm sorry. I bumped the stand here. So at one time, I had 3 cash advances out. I had one with Cash Max, one with Cash Land, and then one with an app that you can download called Earnin. And I'm proud to say that the Cash Max and Cashland got paid off. I guess it was maybe kind of a blessing in disguise. So I live in Ohio, and last year in 2019, Ohio actually passed a law where cash advance places can only charge you so much because their interest fees are so ridiculously high. You know, they're like 400%. They passed a law to where you can only get so much money advanced to you at a time, no matter what you were approved for. So to combat that, these two, Cash Max and Cash Land, at least here in Ohio, I can't speak for any other state, but these two actually got rid of their cash advance services, I guess I should say. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise because both places pretty much forced anybody who had a cash advance out, like I did, to pay it back in equal bi-weekly installments. So that helped me, honestly, get rid of the Cash Max and the Cash Land cash advances. So I got both those paid off. I would say the Cash Land one I got paid off in about 4 payments, and Cash Max I actually took some of the money that we had received from our wedding and used some of that to pay that off. That would be out of our hair or off our backs. So the only one I had left was Earnin. Now I kind of want to talk to you about Earnin, especially if you've never heard of it, because on the surface, it definitely sounds like a really quick, easy, convenient way to get a cash advance. But I will tell you the trappings that it has, and why I'm so glad that we don't have a cash advance loan out with them anymore. So, Earnin is an online app that you can download from like the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, iTunes, whatever store Apple has. I'm not sure. I've never had an Apple phone. But it's an app that you can download, which is a cash advance app. So how it works is you put in all your information as far as, obviously your personal information like your name, address, things like that, but also your work information, where you work, how much you get paid by, or, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, however often you get your check, letting them know how often you do get paid. So this is the way that Earnin works. You are approved to get so much. So for me, I was approved to get $1,000 of a cash advance per paycheck. So for me, that was $1,000 for every 2 weeks. And unfortunately, sadly, I downloaded this app because we needed money for something, and I honestly now don't remember what it was. But I downloaded it because I had the advances out for Cashland and Cashmax. We had no other place here to do that. So I Googled online cash advance or something like that, and that's how the Earnin app popped up for me. But anyway, fast forward to I got approved for $1,000 every 2 weeks. And it started out small. Don't they all? I think I borrowed like $200. I'm sorry, I keep bumping the stand, but it's like literally almost on top of me, but I want this to be close enough for you to be able to see what I'm writing on the board. So, the way that Earnin works is you don't get all this at once like you do at a cash advance place. So let's say, for instance, Cashland. You go in, you pay them, the money you owe them, plus whatever fee that they assign to your loan. But if you can't live without having that loan back because you can't afford to not get all that money back, which I've done several times, you get that money back all at once. Whereas Earnin, you only get to take out $100 a day. So for 10 days after I got paid, I was going in and taking out $100 each day. So I'll just be frank with you. My checks are normally about $1,225 every 2 weeks. But after Earnin, once I built up and started taking out $1,000 every paycheck, because they take it out on your payday, after they took out what I owed them on payday, I only had $225 in our bank account. Now, I will say with Earnin, one positive thing is they don't have a fixed fee on what they'll charge you for what you take out. So, like, for instance, Cashland, if you took out $100, there would be a $15 fee attached to that. So when you went to pay it back when it was due, you gave them $115 instead of $100. They kept that $15, and if you needed to reborrow the $100, you got just the $100. Whereas with Earnin, you got to pick what you paid them for a fee. I believe the highest you could go was like $10, and you could actually pick 0, and many times I did pick 0. Now, usually at least once through a pay period, I would do like $5, because here's another catch. They can fluctuate how much you're allowed to get. So, one pay week or pay period, I may be allowed to get $1,000 out to borrow from them. But if I decide to not pay them a fee for the service, I pick 0. Or I don't remember what the other stipulation was. They can lower how much you're allowed to get from them. So if you don't pay them a fee, I would assume probably for at least 2 pay periods in a row, they're probably going to lower what you're allowed to borrow from them. And that in turn is going to screw you, especially if you need to get the same amount back as you paid back on your payday. So, here is where the Simplify Your Life comes in. Sorry for that long explanation, but I kind of wanted to explain that to you. One, I hope that if you are ever in a financial bind, that you not do a cash advance service. Because between the three of them, when I had three of them going together, I want to say Cashland, I had to pay. I'm trying to think of the fees. The fee that, like, I paid them every 2 weeks when I got paid but never got back, I want to say it was like $30. And Cash Max, I'm just abbreviating here. I want to say Cash Max, the fee that I paid and didn't get back, was about $25. And then with Earnin, I usually gave them like a $5 tip, just so I was giving them something for their service. So that is $60 per check. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting. That's $60 per check, so $120 per month that I'm not getting back. That's $120 we could have used towards another bill, to put an emergency fund, to use for something that we needed for our house, just to save back maybe if we wanted to go on a trip, something like that. That was $120 a month we were losing out on just on fees. So I highly implore you that if you don't need to not take out a cash advance loan. I really know how tempting it is. I mean, obviously, I've done 3 of them at one time. And this was not my first go around at Cashland or Cash Max. I've had payday loans from them in years past that I paid off. And then because we needed money quickly, and I have a bit too much pride to ask my parents for it, we went back to them. So if you can avoid it at all costs, please do not go get a cash advance. And like I said, with that Earnin app, it was so tempting because you didn't have to go into a place of business and talk to anybody person to person, which I don't mind doing that, but I just feel like it takes a lot more time than what it did on that app. You don't have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and you can do it from the convenience of your home. So it is very tempting to do that. Please don't, because I'll be honest, we were on the Earnin cycle for, I would say, close to 2 years. And we just now got out of it. And I'm so happy that we did. We used a portion of our tax return to get out of that hole. So now I will be getting my entire paycheck when I get paid. And, $1,000, pretty much 85-90% of it won't be going towards that Earnin app anymore. In fact, once it got paid off with part of our tax return, I deleted it off my phone. I deleted the app completely. That way it would have no temptation for me to get back on there and get more money from them, even if I thought we needed it. Now, obviously, we don't need it because we got our tax return. But the way this has simplified our life is we have no more cash advance loans that we have to pay out every 2 weeks, and just thinking, oh my God, I've got to pay this to these people, I've got to pay this to Cashland, this to Cash Max, this to Earnin, whatever. I can only get $100 a day from Earnin. Well, what if I have a bill that's, over $100? Now we're going to be screwed. We won't have any money for that day if we need to go out and get groceries or pay a bill, like a utility bill or anything like that. It was stressful. It was very stressful. It stressed me out quite a bit. At times, obviously, finances and money are a big trigger for people as far as anger and things like that. And it definitely got me mad. And I know that there's nobody else to blame but myself, because I'm the one that downloaded the app. I'm the one that chose to borrow the money that I did. I'm the one that chose to keep increasing the amount that I took from them. But I am so happy to say that they are all paid off. We have no more cash advances that we owe anybody whatsoever. And that is a huge burden off both me and Tony's backs. But that is another way that I am simplifying my life in 2020 is finances. We are going to take control of them. We also put a decent amount on a couple credit cards that Tony and I both share with our tax return. So that has helped as well. We've both seen a decent amount of improvement in our credit scores, which we were very happy to see. So that is helping. So we are definitely on the positive side of our finances in 2020. Not that we weren't in 2019 and years before, but now we're much more so in 2020. But if you have any questions about cash advances or that Earn an app or anything like that, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, I know that I'm already going to get comments about, well, you should have had different means of getting extra money if you needed it, or you should have had an emergency fund that way you could pull from that and not have to do the cash advances and things like that. Trust me, I know. But when you are a one-income household, you're paying for two people, you honestly don't have a whole lot of extra money to do things like that with, such as emergency funds and whatnot. Not that we were like spending every single penny from my paycheck every 2 weeks, but it was tight. It was very tight. And, like 2 or 3 days before I got paid, we would always be pretty stressed out because we would be kind of low on money. And there were a few times where I had to let our bank account go into the negative to pay bills because I didn't want them to be late. So that's the reality of it, But now that we have these cash advances paid off, now that we've put a good amount of money on our credit cards, and we're seeing a positive improvement in our credit scores because of that, we now can start putting money back for an emergency fund and for rainy day fee, whatever we want to do with it. Now we have the option to do that. But if you need money quickly, I highly implore you not to do a cash advance either online or at a store that does them. I know it's tempting, but you would just be in a ongoing cycle of going in, paying them back, paying them ridiculous fees, and I can't even tell you how many times we probably paid our loan back by going back and reloaning, going back paying, reloaning, going back paying, reloaning. I bet you at Cashmax and Cashline we probably repaid the original loan we had taken out, I bet at least 10 times, which is now sad for me to think about. That's a lot of wasted money, but we've come out on the other side, and we've paid everything off as far as the cash advances and things like that, and they are behind us. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be a normal video up tomorrow on Monday. This is just kind of something I wanted to put together and let you know another way of how I am in the process of simplifying, not really only my life, but Tony's life as well. And this is kind of the financial aspect of it. But I will be back tomorrow with a organization video for your refrigerator, so you can see how I'm planning on making our refrigerator on the outside not only functional, but kind of fun too. So hopefully you'll tune in for that and enjoy it. But until I see you tomorrow, have a great day and enjoy your Sunday. Bye-bye.